sometimes you know what you're looking at. And I think I've said this before, but sometimes you know when you're looking at greatness. Like, you know when you're looking at LeBron, like that's greatness. You know when you're looking at Steph, that's greatness. You know when you look at Patrick Mahomes, excuse me, that's greatness. You know when you look at Serena Williams or someone that's currently Novak Djokovic, that's greatness. You know when you're looking at, greatness. John Bones Jones, who, by the way, took a 3-year hiatus. John Bones Jones, who took a 3-year hiatus because he did not want to fight until the UFC paid him what he felt he was worth. And that's kind of what you're seeing with Francis Ngannou, but we'll talk about that in a second. John Bones Jones, who took a 3-year break, moved up from light heavyweight to heavyweight. While that doesn't sound like a lot, that's about 20 to 25 pounds, which is drastic. Especially when we're talking about fighting, being able to move with the new weight. John Bones Jones comes back and beats Cyril Gane by submission in like 2 minutes. And now John Bones Jones is the heavyweight champion. Again, man, there has been some great fighters. When we talk about UFC, I mean, we've had my personal favorite when I was growing up, Anderson Silva. We've had Georges St. Pierre. We've had in his prime, Lyoto Machida. We've had, Cyril Gane was before this fight one of the best, or considered one of the best heavyweights we've ever seen. Kuma Usman or something? Like we've seen some greatness when we talk about fighters and UFC. There's been some great ones that come along. But I question, I don't think there's ever been one as great as John Bones Jones. From the speed, the power, the technique, you cannot like the person. You cannot like John Bones Jones as a person. But one thing that we cannot deny is his greatness. Yo, he's 35. And he's been dominating the UFC since he was 23. And he just beat a man that's 11-2. John Jones is 27-1. And he owns the UFC record for the longest unbeaten streak, 19. Victories in a title fight, 15, and title defenses, which is 11, which is tied with Demetrius Johnson. John Bones Jones, I will declare it. I think John Bones Jones is the greatest UFC fighter we've ever seen. And this is somebody that grew up grew up loving Anderson Silva. And Anderson Silva is one of the greatest you've ever seen. But I think John Bones Jones is the greatest you've ever seen. The man took 3 years off. Not because he was injured, but because he didn't feel like he was being paid what he was worth. Look at that. Yet another story, yet another topic that coincides with Lamar Jackson. And this isn't even football. But John Bones Jones felt like he wasn't getting paid what he deserved. UFC finally cut him the check. And he beat a person in Cyril Gane, who a lot of people think was arguably the best heavyweight fighter in the UFC, and he beat that man in under 2 minutes, or in about 2 minutes. So now people ask what's next. A lot of people are saying it's not really. A lot of people want to see. Well, a lot of people are saying what Stipe, Monique or whatever. I know I messed your name up, bro. I apologize. They're pretty much saying he's probably going to be next, but everyone wants to see the super fight, which is Francis Ngannou and John Bones Jones. But again, it kind of feels like that may never happen, or that's not going to happen for a good while, because Francis Ngannou is pretty much going through a holdout himself, kind of what John Bones Jones did with the UFC. And it doesn't look like the UFC and Francis Ngannou are anywhere close to a new contract. So I don't know, but it just feels like it's John. Like, of course, I do want to see what he looks like against Francis Ngannou, but it just feels like it's John Bones, and that's crazy because he went to a different. It went to a whole. No, we saw what Adesanya looked like when he went to the weight class above him. He got destroyed, and we think Israel Azadi is one of the best UFC pound for pound fighters today. He went up to a higher or a heavier weight class, got demolished. John Bones Jones does that, and he beats a man that's considered one of the best fighters of that weight class. He beats that man in 2 minutes. Yeah, man. John Bones Jones, in my opinion, is the greatest UFC fighter we've ever seen. You cannot like him as a person. You cannot like his off mat personality. I don't care. If we're just talking about, if we're talking about who is the greatest MMA fighter of all time, I think it's John Bones Jones. That's my opinion, and a lot of people's. Because, I mean, he's already considered or regarded as one of the greatest. And now I think that being able to sit out for 3 years, come back, go to a different weight class, and dominate the first fight, yeah, he's the greatest. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.